us a little bit about yourself, because are you originally from San Antonio? Is this home?
Erica, I grew up in an Army family. My dad was stationed at Fort Sam Houston when I started high school. And so I had the benefit. I was the only child in our family that got to go to the same high school for all 4 years. And yes, I went to Cole High School on Fort Sam Houston. I went to Trinity University. So San Antonio is truly my home.
And talk about your military experience. That is your background.
Yeah. I was blessed to serve 31 years as a soldier. I was a field artilleryman. And then I became a public affairs guy. So I know a little bit about your tribe. And I served 3 tours in Iraq. I went to Bosnia. We lived in Germany as a family. The Army doesn't always say join the Army and see the world, but we did. And it was really a blessing for me. And to come back here was absolutely a joy to come to Military City. I am honored to be back here and it just feels so natural.
So since your time here, what's kind of been your role here in San Antonio before taking over as this interim?
Yeah, I left the Army to come to USAA, where I was fortunate enough to serve as the Chief Administrative Officer, and then I served as the President of the Property and Casualty Insurance business. I spent 5 years at USAA, and I realized, I'm probably more of a community service guy than a financial service guy, and Goodwill found me, and they were in need of a CEO at the time. So I actually went to Goodwill and agreed to serve as their interim CEO, and I fell in love with Goodwill, and I stayed there 5 years.
Right now, Haven for Hope, as far as in the CEO position, is in a transition period. Talk about how that's been going for you as you kind of settle into this new role.
Well, picture a fire hose flowing at full speed, and I'm drinking from the fire hose because there is so much to learn at Haven for Hope. There's so much good work in the way of wraparound services for our clients, the complexity with which we serve them, the complexity with which they come to us. So I would tell you I'm still drinking large volumes of water to figure it all out, but a couple things I have figured out. First of all, we have a terrific team at Haven. Many people here have been here since the beginning. They've been here 15 years. Many others 8, 10 years, because they have a passion for our mission and for the people we serve. And we are beneficiaries of some great generosity from this community. The donors and friends of Haven for Hope who support us, really they equip us to do the kind of work that we're called to do. And the city and the county are our great partners in this as well. And so it's a collaborative between our donors, the city and the county, and just a great workforce that are helping people who are our neighbors. I mean, these are people we should be helping because they are our neighbors.
Now, homelessness is still an issue here in San Antonio, ranked second in Texas for having the highest homeless population. For you, what are your kind of priorities to help tackle this?
I am blessed because my predecessor, Kim Jeffries, established a tremendous culture at Haven for Hope in the 3+ years she was here. And so my first and number one priority is sustain that culture that is a great blend of compassion, competence, and caring for the people we serve, and achieving important outcomes for them. So stability in the culture, stability in the process with which we serve our clients, I think is the most important thing during a transition. So that we continue doing what we're doing, which is so important, without missing a beat.
I also want to ask, moving forward, what are some of your goals?
My first goal is to become worthy of this responsibility. Seriously, this is a big job, and I am still depending on my team to help me figure it all out and think about it. I've done a lot of other things in my life that are complex, worked at the highest levels of government, I've worked highest levels of the Army, and this is challenging in and of its own right, because we're helping our neighbors who are in the most vulnerable circumstance in life. They have no place to go. They have other things going on in their lives that have contributed to that, and we really want to get that right. About 64% of the people who come to Haven for Hope are first-time homeless. So that should get people's attention, that says, these really are our neighbors. These are people who are in a really unfortunate circumstance, and we should do everything we can to help them.
Being that you have that military background, are there any type of programming that you can talk about, especially for those veterans? As we're dealing with an economy right now that's kind of unstable. They may be turning to a Haven for Hope or other areas for help.
Sure. No, you would be absolutely right if you said I have a special place in my heart for someone who has served, because I've walked in their boots. I know the sacrifices they've made. I know the commitment they made to step up and go do the hard things our country asked. And so we owe them a special debt of responsibility in taking care of them, especially when they're in this circumstance. So yes, I'm really honored that we have a great veteran services program here. We work closely with the VA, and we work closely with a number of other veteran service providers that help us do the best we can for our vets.
15 years this year for Haven for Hope. Seeing this map, seeing just kind of all you guys do, it's got to be amazing to see the growth and just where Haven for Hope is heading.
Yeah, and I guess I would describe myself as sort of a bystander when Mr. Greehey, our founder, stood this place up 15 years ago. I was just coming back to San Antonio. And a lady named Barbara Gentry, who is now our board chair for Haven for Hope, was at USAA with me, and she said, "Kevin, let's go down to Haven. We're going to serve a meal tonight. Will you come with me?" I said, "Of course." No one says no to Barbara Gentry. And so we came down here in the early stages of Haven, and I got to see the amazing work that was done even back then. But most importantly, I got to see what our founder, Bill Greehey, could envision and then move mountains to create and build the teamwork that exists now, not just with the city and the county, but with supporters from lots of other places. So San Antonio and Bexar County are blessed to have Haven for Hope, and it's a result of Bill Greehey's founding vision for us.
What should San Antonio know about you as you take control of Haven for Hope and moving forward?
Yeah.
What do you want San Antonio to specifically know more about?
Well, I would just say I take this seriously, and we should take this seriously, because people's livelihoods, their lives, their well-being, they're our responsibility while they're here. And I also think they should know that we take seriously the obligation that we have to help our neighbors, and these are our neighbors. So I will work really hard to be worthy of that, but I have to remind you, I'm the interim CEO. And the board has to go through the right due diligence and the right process to figure out who's the right long-term CEO here. But I've made a commitment to come help until they can arrive at that.